Hey everybody, Jake here, and today I have a quick rant about material versus price as far as knife design goes. I'm aware there are other factors such as research and development, working with designers, things like that, but we're going to take all that off the table and purely look at what a consumer in most cases would look at: price versus material. Alright, so we got a couple examples here. First up, the Spyderco Centofonte 3. Now, this is an FRM plastic handle with VG10 steel. This knife you can pick up for about $70. Okay. Then we have the Spyderco Introvert. Notice pretty close in size. G10, VG10 steel. This knife, when it came out, was about $200. And once it was discontinued, it went down to $125. So let's talk about the launch price. So at $190, $200, you're getting an upgraded handle for about $120. G10 is not that expensive. I understand there's more steel in this, but come on, seriously, that's ridiculous. When I can get a knife made in the exact same place in Seki City, Japan, from the same company, for less than half the price, I'm probably going to go with this one. That's why Spyderco puts out a lot of these strange looking models and discontinues them. Again, research and development, working with designers, things like that. This was developed with Frank Centofonte, though, who was a famous knife designer. This was developed with Chris Knutson, I believe. Could be wrong. It's been a while since I looked it up. But don't get me wrong, they're both very, well-made knives, and the fit and finish on this one's slightly better. But that's a lot. That's just a lot. They're both lockbacks. This one's actually a better slicer. They're not by much. This one's pretty good, but it's more intended for self-defense. And you can see, there's more metal here and little things like that, but they do not add up to that price, especially when you can get a Delica or an Endura. You can get a PM2 for less than this. Seriously, Spyderco, if you're going to put out these strange designs, price them a little bit better, especially when you're using cheaper materials. If this knife launched at $100, it would have sold. It's using slightly more steel than this, slightly better handles. I can understand that. Mark it up a little bit, but not that much. Okay, so let's look at what you can get for, the launch price of this for $200. For less than $200, you can get a ZT 0450CF. This has carbon fiber and titanium scales and an S35VN blade. Much better blade steel, much better handle material, in my opinion. Some people really like G10. I like the texture on this particular one. For less money, which one would you buy? Unless you're just really interested in the design of this, you don't care about the material, you're probably going to go with this one. If you're buying one knife for work anyway, you're going to go with this one. More standard blade shape, better material, much better warranty as far as disassembly and maintenance goes. Just little things like that. You're probably going to buy this. Or, you can get the Booz Blade Era Mini. S35VN, titanium on the backside, carbon fiber inlay, $200. You're going to go with one of these other knives before you even consider this one. For most people. It's just not practical. And while we've got these on the table, a couple more companies to point out. Medford, probably saw this one coming. Medford likes to use D2 tool steel and titanium, which I respect, or G10, and charge $700 for it. Granted, it's a huge freaking chunk of D2, but come on, man, that's such a fucking ripoff. You can do so much better for a lower price, especially with D2. Use a better steel at this point. Not that D2 is a bad steel, but give me something for $700. And while we're on that, Benchmade. They just marked their prices up like Spyderco did. And they're still using S30V, which is not a bad steel, with the same shitty plastic handles, Grivery or whatever they want to call it. I'd prefer G10 over that any day. But that's going to run you 100 to 150 bucks. It's not there anymore. They need to realize that, take the prices back down, or use different material, things like that. You just need to price according to your materials, so that when people like me or you watching the video go to buy a knife, you don't feel like you're getting ripped off because you bought VG10 steel with, G10 plastic handles when you could have got titanium and S35VN. Just something to think about. Rant over, I suppose, on that one. I just wish that they would work a little bit more to give us a little bit more bang for our buck, especially when it's these large companies like Spyderco and Benchmade. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep an eye out for some more videos and upcoming rants. Thanks, guys.